This is the biggest breakdown Atlanta has ever seen. When Jasmine Washington and Karlie Redd unexpectedly joined forces and targeted Rasheeda directly, what was meant to be simply another day of filming for Love and Hip Hop ATL deteriorated into an open conflict. Startled sources claim that a furious dispute about Kirk's leaked hotel audio was the catalyst for the turmoil. However, it quickly turned into a brawl in front of the whole cast, with shouting, pushing, and Rasheeda being ganged up on. The producers hurried in. The set was crowded with security. As the unimaginable happened, the cameras continued to record. In plain front of everyone, Jasmine and Karlie are flinging their hands at Rasheeda, the most intense battle in the history of the franchise, according to fans who have seen the leaked footage. The cast members couldn't speak. What they were filming was unbelievable to the crew. Additionally, producers are already referring to it as a gold dot rating on the majority of filming days. The mayhem at Empire Soundstage is always humming like an air conditioner. Never surprising, but occasionally loud. However, the air wasn't buzzing that morning. Crackling was the sound. Wore headphones while jogging. At bell time, producers murmured in corners like stock dealers. The green room hallway was swept twice by security. The glam squad even lowered their voices as whether the tension that pervaded the set could be sparked by hairspray. 3 ladies the city knew too well were at the heart of it all. Rana Frost, the self-made tycoon who had more times than anybody should have had her pride eaten for love. The stunning hurricane who never seems to run out of receipts, Jasmine. Cole and Oracle Components buddy Carla Rouge, the franchise's certified spoonster, stirs. Depending on whose camera was rolling, the storyteller and the foe. It had been a slow-motion automobile wreck for the past 2 weeks. The hotel leak in the downtown area happened first. Video captured late at night of a man who had too much. Like Decade Frost slipping, entering a room next to a woman who had a striking resemblance to Jasmine and was dressed in a silk robe. Then followed the check-in form, the charge, and the audio whisper that sounded like Cade hissing. Post nothing. Rasheeda is like that. As usual, the internet did what it does. Memes, biases, and judgments. However, Rasheeda wasn't destroyed by the internet. The time had come, until the day she went live in her kitchen and said, "I'm living in a lie." Every fresh drop peeled a layer off her equanimity, and turned off the camera as if it were on fire. Carla witnessed it all happen. Whatever you think of her, Carla is aware of TV physics. Drama is gravity. Additionally, the attraction is stronger for larger masses. The hole in Rana's heart was a dark hole. Jasmine had a huge crimson grin, Cad's denials, combusting space trash. Carla felt the ratings pulling at her bones as she entered. She had another piece of knowledge. Producers set up a stage when they detect a supernova. It was referred to as a round table. Illumination that is neutral. 2 45-degree velvet sofas. Flowers so lovely they were phony. The bullet points in the run of show were surprisingly serene. Rasheeda solo segment B going forward, segment A. Jasmine solo section C. Taking ownership of the story. Closure on all sides. Segment D was moderated by Rasheeda and Jasmine. A friend checks in. Carla joins the battle room behind the laminate. A line producer went around using a red marker. Mark segment C so firmly that the paper is dented. "The pops," she remarked. To defast cameras, we turn around and lock wide. The security stage is left. "Don't cut if they stand ollie," someone else commented. "TV has rules, ratings have exceptions," someone said at 8:12 a.m. Raya was the first to arrive. Hooded, eyes uncovered. After 3 hours of sleep, she woke up to an unresolved nightmare. She arrived with her mother, Mama Art, a crossbody bag and a quiet storm in flats. "You are not a storyline, nor my child," she whispered as she kissed her daughter's forehead in the makeup chair. Room let out a breath. The powder brush even slowed. 8:34 a.m. Carla floated in with her usual soft focus chaos sunglasses inside. A trail of scent and nude gloss on the lips whispered, "I know something you don't." She located Rana between 2 closet racks and tried gently initially. "You consume food." Rana gave a headshake. I'm unable to tolerate anything, she replied. Karla gave a painful nod, then carried out Karla's actions. Distinguish honesty from empathy. If you refuse to eat, don't let them consume you, at least. Jasmine's entrance at 9:05 a.m. was not a surprise. She never is. Skin like candlelight, sleek low ponytail hair, and deadly neutral nails. She arrived with a stylist, a PR lady, and an invulnerable grin. Good morning. She sank like a throne into the glam chair after singing to no one. PA taking talent tamps with her name put next to it in a hot font. The pre-inters informed 3 distinct tales. The boy Rainier folded his gentle hands. One of the men standing next to me started shifting the goalposts. The field became longer each time I forgave. It's not healing, but I'm not sure what today is. Jasmine is here. Raise your shoulders. Keep your tone calm. Until it isn't theirs, everyone likes the truth. This mess wasn't made by me. I made a record of it. Karla shrugged carefully. Closure is something I support. Closure, in my opinion, might occasionally appear to be a slammed door. The opening scene sounded like a funeral. Rainia's voice are faltering and her stance is upright. I don't have to say sorry. Peace is what I need. The control room remained. A camera upped his throat into his sleeve and he remained mute for a long time until the director murmured, "Cut." 2 grips blinked hard. A courtroom was located in segment B. Jasmine sat with her chin up. They behave as though I broke into a joyful house and started a fire. Even before I entered the home, it was smoking. The response camera was shown by the director. Behind the curtain, Karla's jaw was clenched. Next came the part. Look at the keg of powder. The moderator began by requesting grace. The cosmos chuckled. With the fatigue of 1,000 waves, Rana gazed at Jasmine like a coastline gazes at the ocean. She said, "You keep saying truth like it's a trophy. The way you have loved killing me is not how truth destroys people." Jasmine's brows remained fixed. "You're angry at the mirror, not the reflection," she said. The temperature in the room went up by 2 degrees. Overhead, a boom microphone shook. Rainier steadied her voice and stated, "I'm mad at a woman. Someone called at dawn and carried a match to my front door." Jasmine retorted, telling me that he had the right to switch on the porch light. When Karla took the stage early before segment D, there was a sound that a set makes just before a storm. It's the opposite, like air being sucked out of a room. The moderator blinked and said, "All right, time out. Before this goes left, I need both of you to hear me." Her palm was raised in a half-piece part warning. "Let Karla play. Stay wide, Rainier." Karla turned to her companion first. "You have bled for this love." The director's voice crackled in the IFBs. "And you, girl, you confuse. Exposure with empowerment. A trophy case of cassettes doesn't make you a truth teller. It makes you an archivist of agony. You don't owe any more blood." She turned to Jasmine. Karla didn't bat an eye. "Narrating isn't curating." Jasmine giggled. "That's a soft, dangerous sound," says the lady who has dedicated her career to recounting the suffering of others. No one knew, but Rana said to herself or the room, "Ka cannot do this," and finally let out a tire-like breath. Cameras followed her as she stood. Security stiffened but remained in place, and producers shared a look that said, "Hold, keep your hands off it." "You don't get to step out of a story you kept alive for years," Jasmine remarked, rising slowly as the sun rose. "Can't walk before we finish," she said. Rainier whirled around, her eyes glazed and piercing at "I saved my marriage once." Few people maintained a folder. That statement struck a chord. "Oh my God," someone murmured in the control room. Karla slipped 1 foot between them, palms out, and said, "Not today, not like this," as the audio engineer slammed the mute like a panic button. However, the mechanics were already in motion, with 3 circles recklessly passing the same spot. People tend to forget that beginning battles are seldom about the first shove. Rather, they are about the 1,000 shvais preceding those that are impossible to film, like the night Rainier slept on a sofa under a sponsorship blanket because she couldn't stand their bed. The morning Jasmine woke up to a silence that tasted like a promise turning to ash. and the years Karla spent turning the suffering of others into episode beats, while she was going through her own. Friendships strained at the edges. "Say it straight," Jasmine pressed. "You hate me because I didn't lie for him." Rana's jaw worked. The moderator attempted to insert a commercial break, but the camera zoomed in close enough to capture the shimmer at her waterline. "I hate," she whispered softly, "that you love the audience more than the truth." No one heard him. Karla grasped for Ria's elbow knot, to constrain, merely to anchor. "We can leave," she mumbled. Renaya winced. They didn't play it, but they didn't have to. Karla gave the control booth a gaze so intense that it may have broken the lens. "He told me the room number because he wanted me there," she whispered. Each word a match head. The rest is arithmetic. Audio was gasoline. Jasmine walked nearer, not touching, but close enough to blur boundaries. Rana went forward as well, sadness developing into something steel-tipped. Karla thinned her voice and continued. "He told me forever, and you made sure it expired." The pause between them had reduced to a breath. A water bottle tumbled and overturned, a chair leg shrieked, and a light blinked to alert the operator. Of you. Of you. When adrenaline edits the film, the order of actions becomes hazy, and some claim that Jasmine's shoulder bumped first. It was sweltering. Everything felt 3 inches closer and 5 degrees brighter. Everyone agrees that Karla moved in the medulla wedge, a shield, a fuse. Security flowed, not rushed to bodies creating a wall. Some claim that Rana's wrist touched Jasmine's as she waved. The director's voice pierced through the air. "Stay wide." "Do not cut, look at you," a guard whispered, hands out. "Looking at you," Raya fired back, "calling yourself a calculator when you're just a camera." Karla inhaled through her teeth, part prayer, half curse. Jasmine growled, eyes focused on Raya over the steel barrier separating them, still acting like, "You didn't know the arithmetic." Part 1 concludes with a mile of history and inches of air between 3 women who know how to fight, how to love, and how to make both into television. We are not bleeding on velvet sofas today. This one began with a playlist of receipt sand, and the next track just queued up, leaving producers astonished, security tense, and the entire city waiting to see whether the next contact would be verbal, emotional, or loud enough to reverberate down the hallway, since some fights begin with a punch. When the true explosion started, the velvet sofas had just calmed down after security positioned themselves between Ra and Jasmine. What everyone assumed would be another argument for the cameras turned into something that nobody on set, not even the chaos-loving producers, could have foreseen. Even though the altercation was explosive, the real twist was that Karla Rouge, who had built her entire brand on creating drama and then taking a break to sip tea while it boiled over, switched sides at the beginning and attempted to maintain order between 2 hurricanes. However, something changed this time. Karla's jaw tightened, and the cameras captured it as he gave me the room number as soon as Jasmine hissed, because he wanted me there. "Rana?" she whispered loud enough for Mike's ears to hear, and with a flash of understanding, Karla leaned toward Jasmine rather than standing her position in the center, knowing that the words weren't simply cutting but deliberate. The room froze. Rana's face broke like porcelain under too much strain, and her friend, the one she'd led in her home, confessed in her about late-night conflicts. You can't be angry at someone for revealing what was always there. You need to quit blaming the messenger. Rana, whose voice trembled more from betrayal than anger, muttered, "You of all people, you cried too when the bistro accounts dipped." She was supporting the woman who had humiliated her on international television. "You continued forgiving a man who wasn't faithful. Don't shoot me because I'm not sugarcoating it." It was like a bullet. Karla didn't flinch. "I'm stating what everyone is thinking." "Oh, hell no," Ka-op mumbled under his breath, forgetting his microphone was hot, as the cast members who had been hidden in the wings screamed audibly in the studio. In the comes, the director stumbled. "Well, all right, Karla, keep on. This is brand new." "See?" she remarked. "It's mean, grinning like a cat that's just been given cream." "Even your own people know I'm not the villain here," he said, turning to Renaya. "I didn't ruin your union." When he did, Renaya lost her temper and lost her poise in front of everyone. She cried, Stop pretending you're innocent when you wanted this chaos and you wanted me broken. Stop calling yourself the truth when you've been sleeping with my nightmare. Security didn't move this time, and the set was silent but for her speech. You wanted these cameras. You wanted me to be humiliated. Jasmine didn't back down, though, and she stepped forward toe-to-toe with Rhea. You think you're the only one who was hurt, he assured her. Producers knew they had TV gold at that same moment, and now he's the one hiding, not me. You were his wife, but he assured me I was his future. The showrunner overcame the control room's disagreement about whether to go to commercial. Keep going. This is history. This is more than a quarrel. The first twist came when Karla unexpectedly pulled out her phone in the middle of the scene. Security tensed up, assuming she was calling for backup, but instead she tapped her gallery, scrolled, and then held the screen out for the cameras, revealing a blurry screenshot that was clearly a text thread, even though it was difficult to read from a distance. Keep it quiet, was the emphasized sentence from the timestamp that took place months ago between Kirk and Jasmine. Rhea is still unable to learn. Gasps echoed throughout. Where in hell did you get that? The studio said. Raw dot. Karla shrugged, with the same devil's grin. Receipts don't hide from me, Rhea said. The crew lost it, one PA mouthed. She came armed to another. I don't just stir the pot, I taste what's in it. Karla always received the tea. However, for Rhea, it wasn't humorous. She seemed betrayed by two people at once. Backstage cast members moved closer to monitors. Fans online posted screenshots with captions since, of course, someone was live without raw footage to Twitter. Karla's eyes softened for the first time as she queried, So you knew? Her voice broke as she said, You knew he was sneaking around with her and you didn't tell me. Jasmine seemed unfazed, crossing her arms and grinning once again. I didn't want to be the one to break you, sis, she said, but it's too late. To protect you with silence now. You've been living in denial, you know. Don't hate me because your husband loved me too. The word loved was the dagger. Ra recoiled as if it were physical, and her knees briefly gave way in front of Mama R, who had been sitting silently in the portion of the audience, got up and yelled, Enough! You both came to a halt. You think this is a game? Mama R's voice shattered like thunder, and the entire set turned. Do you consider the tears shed by my daughter to be ratings? Security wouldn't save you today, so you'd best be grateful that these cameras exist. Even Jasmine's sneer faltered for a moment as the team froze. Naturally, the producers loved it. Put on your microphone. The director yelled, Mama! As a heavy hoist hanger landed precisely. 3 ladies screamed. It wasn't just a battle anymore. It wasn't just another round of Rasheeda versus Jasmine. A mother intervened. Security braced. A leaked screenshot hung in the air like smoke. The screenshot of the text message should have been the climax of the drama, a smoking gun that left the audience stunned, but it was a conflict where alliances were changing, receipts were dropping, and even family members were prepared to enter the ring, and the world was watching it happen in real time. The issue wasn't just the language itself. It was what it stood for. And with that one receipt, the entire set shifted from a contentious dispute to a full-scale eruption. Confirmation that Karla was aware of the fact that Kirk, Rana's spouse, had been secretly seeing Jasmine. That everyone had been deceiving Rana for months. Treachery on top of treachery. The escalation began with the reaction shots, and the world witnessed it happen to her in real time. Rhea's hands trembled as she gripped her microphone as if it were the only thing holding her up. UKNEW, she said. The camera zoomed in close enough to capture a single tear streaming down her face as she murmured again, staring straight at Karla. The treachery in her voice echoed around the soundstage, causing the cast members gathered in the wings to gasp. I didn't know how to tell you, sis. You're already suffering, and you always stand up for him no matter what. I thought it would just be another battle, another fight. Karla attempted to act calm, brushing imaginary lint off her dress. Karla? My life isn't a segment, Rhea snapped. Her voice broke into a scream. Their money was filmed in the control room. The director wanted tight garments and a tote. Keep on her. She purred. Everyone knew except you. Blink. Jasmine, the ever-opportunistic, reclined. Back in her chair, arms folded, relishing the flames. Rhaenyra lunged, Taut security was too sluggish this time. The sofas squealed on the floor as Rhaenyra ran at them. "You've always been the last to find out." Jasmine screamed and pushed back, their microphones recording every word as her hand sprang out, still not slapping, but reaching for hair for anything. The stage descended into mayhem as security rushed in, but not before Karla said, "You ruined my life." "He wanted me, not you. Wanted me, not you."